Hello, and welcome to the Delusional Boyfriend Book Club. My name's Courtney.
I'm Phoebe.
And we'll be your hosts. And today we're talking about Rebel Obsession, the second book in the St. View Rebel series by Elle Thorpe.
Yeah, baby.
Our motifs, our tropes are going to be dark romance, reverse harem, murder mystery, biker club, MMFM,
sex club.
We have a second chance romance going on with two of the people in the polycule, which is really cute. Then we have, we have a size difference. We have, because of how big our main character is compared to Fang. She's like a little itty bitty.
Yeah, she's
Fang
tiny.
Is huge.
Yeah.
So yeah, lots of fun tropes in this one. If you guys haven't already listened to the other episodes in this series, you should. If you haven't read already, I don't know why you're on the second book of this podcast episode.
Talking to you, Brielle.
If you're tuning in on a random episode, I implore you to go listen to these on Audible, come back, then listen to the podcast episode and let us know what you think.
They're free on Spotify if you have a premium subscription.
That's right. And speaking of which, if you haven't subscribed yet to our podcast over on Spotify or Apple Podcasts or whatever podcast platform you're listening to, subscribe and turn on auto download so that you never miss an episode.
Yeah, boy.
We just redid the podcast studio, so it's like a Yowie Dungeon podcast studio thing now. And we're going to be making a lot of content. So make sure you also follow us on TikTok and Instagram and YouTube. If you want to watch this podcast in a video format, you can watch all of them over on our YouTube.
Yeah, don't you want to see what we look like?
We look really cute, especially with our new background, and I got bangs. So like, please go subscribe to our YouTube. It's hard to grow a YouTube, but if I can implore you guys, go watch us over there. We're literally adorable. And with all that being said, Princess is going to lead us through our spoiler-filled breakdown. Princess, take it away.
All right, perfect. Yes, for spoiler-free summary, I said too hard for anything but book one.
Yes.
So,
yep.
We're going to jump right back in. So, at the end of the last book, it ended with Caleb throwing Rebel into the pool tied to the chair. So, we jump back in. The boys are frantically searching for her. They can't find her anywhere. They're looking for her in the car. Caleb's like, I'm going to run you over. They've called the police and they hear a splash. So, they go running to the back. And then all of a sudden, we jump to Rebel's perspective and someone's pulling her out of the water and she's trying to figure out which of the guys it is. And she realizes they have a really small frame and boom. Okay. Plot twist. Nosy neighbor next door is, being nosy as usual and saw the whole thing happen, called the police and came to get Rebel. So she's an unsung hero. She was, as usual, not minding her business. And we're very thankful for that.
I am very thankful for that, but also she was my number one suspect from the last book. And I'm like, girl, you're still just interjecting yourself in the scene of the crime, but we'll get back to it.
But if she was the murderer that was threatening Rebel, wouldn't she just let Rebel die?
No, she would try to prove herself to be, you try to get close to the investigation so that you can be like, it's not me.
But Rebel's getting threatening letters that she's next. So if you really were going to harm her next, when you just let her die and let somebody else take the route.
No.
No.
And I'm still on this girl's trail.
Okay, perfect. So then Vaughn jumps in the pool to help the girls get out. Caleb gets away, of course. We're only on book 2. Come on. And so Rebel's okay. She's shaken up, but she does not want to go to the hospital because you know who works at the fucking hospital. And so then Rebel and Vaughn start to plan for their parents' funeral. And then there's lots of tension everywhere. There's like this scene with Kian and Vaughn where they have all this sexual tension. And Vaughn's like, kiss me. And Kian's like, no. And just leaves. And you're like,
Kian's like, oh, you're begging me to fuck you now.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. You're going to beg for it? Well, that's not going to do shit. And then so Rebel and Vaughn decides he wants to go swimming for a workout. Keen's been trying to get Rebel to do cardio. She doesn't want to. And Vaughn's like, well, swimming's a great cardio. And she's like, I'm not getting in a fucking pool. I almost just drown. And he's like, oh, come on, I'll help. Like, it's good to face that fear. You're never going to swim again for your whole life. So they go to the pool together and they have a really like nice time at the pool. There's one moment where he thinks Rebel's trying to let herself drown. But after that,
he shows that he's been very affected by her almost drowning, her
yes,
attempted murder, and that shows us that he cares
about
about her,
her.
but it wasn't too serious.
No, it wasn't as serious as they felt for him in the moment.
Yes,
I'm which he immediately knows.
I'm like, you're being dramatic, but I understand you're just trying to show us that you're worried about her.
Yeah, that's like something you would do.
Yes, I'm an overdramatic person to be like, I love you.
Yeah, she's like, I love you. I haven't heard from you in hours. Where have you been? It's like I've called you. Your phone's dead.
Yeah, but I'm just like, I need you to know that I would be upset if anything ever happened to you, and I would be really dramatic so that I never. So if anything does happen to you, I could be like, but I told her.
Yeah,
don't drown yourself in the pool, baby.
So things are starting to get serious in the pool. Rebel's like, what the hell happened with you and Kian? Like, I have to know. You have to tell me. And so we find out that all throughout high school, Vaughn had a girlfriend who had like a celibacy, like virginity, whatever vow. And so he didn't care because he was in love with Kian. So he was just hooking up with Kian the whole time. And they never actually had like penetrative sex, we find out, but they were lots of other things. Yeah. And so they were at like this end of summer party. They were all going to college and they were having a great time. Kian came to this party. It's with all of Vaughn's like stuck up, nosy high school friends. And they're at the beach and they're like hooking up, right? He's like blowing him and he goes to look for Luke.
No, he
does he leave? Oh, his friends are leaving.
So they like finish hooking up and he's like, I'll be right back.
He goes to say bye to his friends. He comes back and Kian is like being pummeled to death by some people on the beach for being gay. And so Kian goes in the hospital. He's in a coma and Vaughn like stays by his sad, I
was miserable about this part, yeah.
So Vaughn is like in the hospital staying by his side, like waiting for Kian to wake up, and then his dad's business partner, which I don't think we actually find out this in this part of the book, but we find this out in the book, so it's not a spoiler, actually like threatened him, like, this is what's gonna happen to Kian if you keep sleeping with him, like, you need to marry this girl Brooke. And so he leaves because he thinks Kian's gonna get hurt if he stays around, so then he just often leaves for 10 years, no contact,
while he's in a coma.
It's so sad.
And they were like first boyfriends. There's no closure. And then Kian, to know that Kian's just been like taking the high road and just like,
it's so sad. It's literally so sad. So that's what happened between them. So Rebel kind of understands why there's so much tension and also why things are not like, why they haven't gotten past that, because they haven't really addressed that very much. So then on the way home, Vaughn and Rebel get all hot and bothered in the car. And then I don't know what he says, but right when they get home, he like pisses her off. She's pissed. She goes inside. And then he knows he fucked up. So he calls Fang and he's like, I sends Fang a list of things. He's like, I need you to service Rebel, pretty much.
He's like, do this and that.
Yeah,
and
that. He's like, I really fucked up. And so Rebel's up in her room pissed. Fang comes over, and then Rebel and Fang.
This was hot.
This was so hot.
And of all of the series, we haven't had a sex tape yet.
No, yeah. So they're like hooking up, and Fang's like, oh, he's gonna be sorry for what he missed. Should we record it and send it to him? And she's like, what? We're not doing that. And he's like, but should we? And she's like, okay. And so it's very hot. This whole scene is very hot. It's like nipple clamps, clit clamp, hot sex. It's good. And then they
Fang is like being very instructive and very much like show him on the camera, like spread it open for him.
He's
so
like narrating it for the camera for Vaughn. And
Fang is like really into this group thing, which I love it. I really like, because he should be like a jealous guy, but he's really into this whole dynamic.
I love it.
It's very
so
good. It's very good.
And so then
he also knows he's the favorite, so like he doesn't have to be jealous because
after she got out of the pool, that's when they confess their love for each other, right?
Yeah.
So they've said I love you.
No, they said I love you before she went in the pool when they're at the hospital, like in the last book.
Oh, they said I love you in the last book? Okay.
But in this book, there was a couple confessions.
Yes. But so these two have already are openly talking about how they're in love. So it's great. And then they get done and Fang immediately grabs the phone and just sends it to Vaughn. It's so good. It's so good. Okay.
And Vaughn and her, just still have this very much like,
Vaughn and
we're
her,
not
like,
siblings, but we don't know how to get past that.
They made out in the pool, and like we're going really hot and bothered. And then they were talking about how chlorine kills bacteria, and she's like, "Does it kill semen?" And a literal lady with a child is like,
"Get out of the pool."
What? No.
Like, we go to the same gym at the pool, and I'm just like trying to imagine like doing this in the pool because the treadmill's like look down at the pool.
Yeah, dude. Can you imagine? We should start doing the stair climber just so we can see if people are ejaculating in the pool.
Well, I go on the stair climber just so I can watch Hawkeyes swim because the Hawkeyes are the bodies, but then sometimes it's the swim team. And I just don't go on.
Here's the problem for me. I'm afraid of falling off a stair climber, so I can't not look at my feet, so I can't even enjoy the view.
Even look at your feet past your tits?
It's hard. I can't. Like, if I was standing right now, I wouldn't see them. It's hard. Okay, it's hard out here.
So they don't go any further, and there is this like still a little bit of weirdness about them being like brother sister, but they're getting
obviously
past it.
Not.
Yes, and they're getting past it. But this stepbrother, like, I love Elsa. I love this author so much. I'm so glad you did this because she has found a way with all of these reverse harems to find every single trope
in the
every micro trope,
and
like,
do it.
Brother's best friend and age gap and size difference and step sibling, like it.
You have to give the people, there's something for everyone.
In the last series, we even had stepmom. It wasn't really stepmom because it was her stepmom and her brother, and they're
related through their mom.
But there's still like a weird thing going on there, and I'm like, Elthorpe is giving it to us in the most palatable way. Each one of these like kinks,
the thing about that was that her dad was watching her brother.
Oh,
fuck his wife. Regardless of whether it's not his son, that's for sure there happening. Which I'm glad was just a trope that we weren't involved in. Frankly.
Yes, frankly, but it's funny because
he does it all. She does it.
She hits them all, and I'm like, whatever your thing is, whatever your category is of smut, she'll get there. A character in here and that's their thing.
She literally has a killer priest who fucks a girl on the altar. You just haven't read that book yet.
I'm so excited for that book. Okay, and this I was gonna kind of save this for the end, but let's talk about it now. So Elthorpe has all of her cowboy books and everything.
Yeah, they're good. I've read them all.
Do we just like go on with Elthorpe, or do we just pick a whole new
for next year?
Yes.
I don't know. Let us know what you want.
Let us know, because I just went back to her website to look for these books that I'm still trying to con my husband into buying Phoebe and I for our birthdays. But I was looking at her website and she has all of her cowboy books on there, and I was like, maybe we like Talk Dirty to Me Cowboy. Is that what they're good? So I was like, maybe we should just keep going with Elthorpe until we're done. And instead of like with the romance novels, like doing it year by year, we can just go through like author by author.
We can do whatever we want.
So let us know.
Our podcast. Yeah. But you liking it is important.
And like, I'm just not over Elthorpe yet. And I feel like in 3 months, I'm still not going to be over her because
I can't wait after this. You know what I'm going to do?
Go read her new book.
Go home and start her new book.
I really love her.
I'm so excited.
It's so funny when I like see her picture. I'm like, she's just like a normal person, but she has such a like, this world of St. View is so vivid to me.
I know, it's so good.
I'm obsessed with her now, and I do want to see what her cowboy books are about. So anyways, I think that is definitely an option going forward.
So let us know if you're interested. Let us know if you just like are you into reverse harem? Like, do you want more of that? Do you want like just male? What's the vibe?
Yeah, what's the vibe? Do you like the author by author? Do you want a certain trope? What is the vibe? Yeah. Group stuff?
Let us know in the comments. Rebel and Kian is kind of feeling like a little bit on the outs. Like, he obviously has this crush on Rebel. He obviously has all of these feelings for Vaughn that are really complicated. And he's kind of feeling like he's in the friend zone, firmly planted in the friend zone. Him and Rebel go to the movies together, and there's this guy that won't stop looking at her. This weird guy won't stop looking at her. Kian's like, what the fuck is this guy's problem? Who the fuck are you? Well, turns out it's Torrance. And Torrance, turns out, is Rebel's dad, her real biological father. And it turns out Rebel has a bunch of half-sisters, and they live on a farm, and he really wants her to meet them. Super weird.
All of this, red flags everywhere.
Red flags
everywhere.
Oh my God, just wait till later in this book. It's not a spoiler. You've already read the book. Wait till they go to the farm. It's not good. Okay. So after the movies, Vaughn and Rebel Kian and Rebel finally kiss. and it's great, but he's still feeling like he's in the friend zone. And then the boys, what are the boys doing? When Vaughn, okay, so Vaughn goes to talk to his dad's business partner, Harold Coker.
We hate him.
Harold choke on a dick. He sucks.
And but he never would because he's so homophobic.
No, he's so homophobic. He would never choke on a dick. That's his nightmare.
That's his nightmare. But even more so, he should choke on a dick.
Yes.
But so we have Kian and Vaughn there.
Yes, so Kian and Vaughn are there together. And while they're there, no, it's later. Okay, never mind. Sorry.
That part's later because when Kian is like, am I in the friend zone? And she's like, no, you're not
in the friend zone. Yeah, okay. Sorry. It was our birthday party this weekend and the brain fog still exists.
Oh my God.
It's bad, you guys. I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry.
I missed a full other episode of the podcast because of my birthday. I had a niece in town. I was decorating this office. So when you can see, I'm letting Phoebe do all the
Phoebe brain also not working at the best capacity as normal. I'm so sorry. Moving on. So they finally kiss. Yeah, okay. So then Rebel decides that she's going to flyer the town with all the pictures of her after her attack with her 3 attackers' names. And so she goes crazy. She puts them all on their cars first. She goes to their houses, puts them on their car. Then she watches
with Kian as the first guy.
Yeah, the
finds
doctor.
The photos, and they're like eating popcorn.
Leon, is that his name?
Harold.
No, Harold's.
Oh wait, you're right, Leon. So, but they like put the pictures on the car, and then they watch from down the street as he finds the pictures of her battered body after they assaulted her, and then he like is looking around, and she waves out the window, and she's just like, "Coming to get you," and he's like, he ends up going to the cops, right?
Yeah, his wife sees it. She confronts him about it, and he decides to turn himself into the police. But we don't find that out until they're flying the hospital. Yep. And he approaches, and then she's like, I'll fucking kill you. And he's like, don't kill me. I'm going to turn myself in. So he does. Then she goes and flyers up all around alone. So Kian goes to do something. She goes alone. She goes into the city, and she's flyering up all around the building that Caleb works in and that Hugh works in. And she's at the coffee shop that Vaughn saw all the guys at, and she's talking to the employee, and she's, oh my God, these guys are so creepy. They just come in here and talk about which ones of us they would fuck and which ones they'd have to fuck with a pillow over their face. It is just
vile.
The worst.
Vile.
So upsetting. And so then her dad bumps into her. We find out Torrance has been following her because he really wants to talk to her. Blah, 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 blah. Daddy issues. Rebel is like, Daddy, I really want to give you a chance.
Oh my God, this man stalked me.
She should not give him a chance. He's bad news, baby. Bad news. And then they run into Hugh, and Hugh doesn't even recognize Rebel, and that pisses our girl Rebel the fuck off.
Can you imagine?
Pisses her off so bad. So,
can you imagine somebody assaulting you and then pretending like they don't know who you are?
Yeah, like not recognizing you. Like, I would be so upset, especially after you've already like threatened them and told them you're going to kill them. And they don't even, not even phase.
Register.
Yeah. So upsetting. And, so I did miss a part.
That's okay.
With the porn mags.
It's
kind of important. Okay, earlier. Okay,
there was
after the attack,
earlier.
They went to get Caleb, and they called in Bliss's guys to help them get Caleb. So then Bliss and Rebel are at the house, and she's like, are you suspicious of Kian? Like, what's going on with Kian? She's like, I don't know. He might have killed my mom. And she's like, let's go snooping. And so then they go snooping through Kian's room, and then they find all these like porn mags under his bed, which they're like, ew, but haha. But then they find a note from Miranda, which is Rebel's mom, that's like, come to my room after this. And then Rebel's like, oh my God, is he fucking my mom? This is my nightmare. Which, by the way, me too.
Yeah.
Also my nightmare that someone I'm interested in has fucked my mom.
Which, like, literally,
Nightmare.
And with the last one with the motherfucking, like, enough with the motherfucking, okay? So
Nightmare.
that's a suspicion, but we already had that suspicion that maybe there's like a three-way going on with Kian and the parents, because Kian has been a suspect in this murder for a while. We know he's not it. But yeah, so that.
But then that led to, like, Kian was like, someone's been going to my room because he's a clean freak. Mm-hmm. And then him and Rebel have this moment before they kiss where he still feels like he's in the friend zone, but she's basically like, I'm going to go masturbate. Have fun listening through the bathroom.
That one was hilarious.
Yeah, it was great. I'm so sorry. Soup brain. Okay. So while that's happening with them running into Hugh, she's flying everywhere. The boys go in. Harold's a fucking dickhead, of course. He's so homophobic. He's pissed because Kian's there with Vaughn. He's like, Vaughn, you need to get your shit together. Your dad's the reason our company's failing, blah, 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 blah,
blah. If everyone knows you're gay, they're not going to want to do business with you. So you need to go back to your wife, Brooke, who is...
Like, we need her family's business.
And also, we did get a moment with Vaughn earlier where he got a letter with a
note
piece of...
with like her hair chopped off in it. Yes.
Yep. So he knows that his wife is being threatened because she owes money to these debt collectors. Yeah. So he needs to get his portion of the business back from Rebel so that he's the majority owner of the business, so that Harold is no longer majority owner. Because right now he has half of 51% and Harold has 49%.
Yeah.
But until he has all 51% back from Rebel after the will has been disputed, then he can challenge Harold. But right now, until he can do that, Harold is in charge of all of the money, which means
and he's a dickhead.
Kian's not getting paid.
Nobody's getting paid.
Nobody's getting paid. All of this shit's happening. And Brooke, the ex-wife, is out of fucking money. So she's gonna come dragging her dirty ass back around town.
Oh, Thor's. Okay. So, Vaughn sticks up for Kian, and it's really hot. And he is like, you don't know anything about him. He's the best person in the world, blah, blah, blah. And and then Vaughn's like gonna punch Harold Coker in the face. And Kian comes in and drags him away. He's like, we're not doing that. There's too many witnesses. Like, you're going to get arrested for this.
You'll have
and they drags him into the elevator. As soon as the elevator doors close.
They're making out.
Finally. They're making out. But don't get your hopes up, because Yvonne's about to immediately ruin it. They get out of the elevator. They're leaving. And Harold Coker's standing in his window, glaring. And then Vaughn's like, I can't do this. We can't do this. Blah, 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 blah.
It's a miscommunication trope, and I hate it. It's my least favorite trope. And it's just like, just tell him Coker's looking. I don't know what to do about the business.
Yeah,
just, like, be
and Coker's
open.
Like threatening your life and everybody's lives. That's all you have to say. You'll figure it out together.
That's all you have to
say. Okay, so after that, Kian's out. He's pissed at Vaughn. He leaves, and then Vaughn gets home, and Kian's off. God knows where. He doesn't know, and he doesn't come home. And Rebel and Vaughn are like, where's Kian? They're kind of concerned, and he doesn't come home that night. And then the next day, Rebel's pissed because Hugh didn't recognize her, and she's like, let's fucking kill this motherfucker.
Let's get him.
So she's like, I'm going to go burn his house down with him in it. Are you coming? Basically, is what she says to Vaughn. And he's like, okay. She's like, we should have just enough time before we have dinner plans with your mom.
Amazing. Then they go in.
They go.
Do it.
They do it.
And then they do it.
So they park the car like halfway in between their house and his house.
Love the scene. I love the scene.
Yes, they run back, and then they have so much adrenaline they can't even get into the car. They fuck on the car.
I love this scene.
I know, so good.
Very good.
So good. And then I love this scene after this, because then they go straight. She's like, oh my God, we don't even have to have a shower. Like, everyone's going to know we fucked. And he's like, that's fine. Like, I want my cum dripping out of you when we're at my mom's house.
I want your panties wet with my cum. Yeah. And then they get
to the house, and who comes running out of the house? Brooke.
His ex-wife.
His ex-wife comes running out of the house, all gross. She's like, oh, Bonnie.
She's got a pixie cut because these people have actually come for her and chopped off all of her hair. She's like, she clearly can see that they've been fucking, but she's like going to do whatever she can to keep her little dirty claws sunk into her ex.
And so Rebel's just like, I'm not fucking doing this. I'll leave. You guys have dinner. Like, this is clearly like a little bit of warfare, and I'm not interested. And so she goes to leave, and Vaughn's like, no, I'm not staying. Like, I'm coming with you. Fuck this. Mom, what the fuck is your problem? Why would you do this to me? Brooke, fuck off. I never want to see you again. And I don't care what happens to you. Goodbye. And then Brooke is like, well, you might be fucking him, but he is my husband. And she's like, well, he may be your husband, but his comes in me right now.
Sorry, bitch.
Which I just love.
And
so spicy.
And the wife is like, I heard from the business manager and you're probably getting a promotion. He's like, oh, so you're here for the money. Literally leave. So
get out.
It is wonderful. Because, like, that's another trope is cheating, which is, like, there's an acronym for it in the BL community. It's, like, NTR, NCR, or something like that. But anyways, cheating trope. And so that's, like, worked in here. But it's always, she does it palatable because, like, he is technically cheating on his wife. But
and he's been, like, trying to leave her.
Yeah, he's, like, trying to separate himself from her. She's awful. And it is really fun to see when there is, like, a cheating trope to see one person say, like, I told you, we're fucking over to their face in front of the other person. So the other person knows there's nothing going on still. So loved that. Very clear communication there.
Yes. So the motorcycle club, after this is happening, they are going into a lockdown because they decide that their war has decided it's time for the retaliation for their hit that they put out on his dad in Psychos. So if you read Psychos, you know what we're talking about. If you didn't, what's wrong with you? Go read Psychos.
It was
come back.
So good.
Yeah, it's so good. And so they decide they're going to retaliate against the sinners. And they're going after Hayden Chaos Whitling, a.k.a. Liam's brother from prison. So if you didn't read Prison, what are you doing?
And I, like, knew I was going to have a crush on him in prison. And here we are.
And here we are. Yeah, just wait.
Okay, come on.
Okay, so they decide they're going to have warfare. They're in a lockdown, and Rebel's like, oh, he's going to drag us into the motorcycle club. This is a nightmare. And he's like, you guys got her. Like, take care of Rebel. I'm going to take care of this. Everything's fine. Which I love to see from him because he does feel like he would kind of be like a controlling like He-Man, but he's so not. And it's the best. Like,
absolutely.
And that's like been her whole fear with being in a relationship with him anyways. Yep. And he's not like that at all. And it's great.
And in fact, he understands that his life in the motorcycle gang means that he is going to be away from her too often. So if he doesn't have bodyguards around her, if he doesn't have men he can trust, he knows that he could die any day.
That's who would take care of her? Other thing. Who's going to take care of her if he dies?
Mention a girl at the motorcycle club whose guy did die, and she's just like wrecked and alone. And so Fang is like, I know that I'm like,
I live a high risk lifestyle.
And he's also used. He is the biggest guy in the gang. Like he's
the muscle.
He's the muscle. He's the weapon. So like the odds that something happens to him are high, and he has to be comfortable and confident that whoever is with Rebel is going to protect her, whether he's there or he's not there. I love that about him. He's like built a little army for her.
Yeah.
I love that.
Yeah, me too. And then we go, so that's happening with them. Then we jump to Caleb's perspective, and he brings Kara she's pregnant still. He brings her to the sinner's compound, and he's like, you're going to protect me. You're going to protect us. Throw her in with others. So then she gets thrown in this room, locked in this room with all these women. And then this is kind of how we find out that Caleb is trafficking women. Which is like, as if he could get worse.
As if he could get worse.
This motherfucker is the worst.
This part, and I will say this is the only part where I was like a little bit confused, where it's just like, so there's like a whole, there he has like, this is like a whole thing. Okay.
Yes, because then we also find out so Kara's there, then she's like.
With 3 other women.
I think 4.
4 other women.
And then she goes into labor. Hayden's like, we got to take her to the hospital. Caleb's like, that's not going to fucking happen. I'll slit your throat. So then she has the baby. She's okay. They like bring in one of their like club nurses to stitch her up. And so then she just has a whole ass baby. And this is where, so the Slayers come in to like start this war.
Yeah, and there's Hayden. Also like a Stockholm thing happening with like
Kara and Hayden.
All
of them because Hayden's so hot. But
Hayden is so hot.
It's mutual with Kara. Like,
like
I literally wrote Kara is low-key vibing with Hayden.
Low-key, everybody is like, wait, what about the hot guy who doesn't like really want to be keeping us?
What about the hot guy that's really nice?
Yeah, he's super nice. And I'm just like the whole time I'm like, Stockholm.
Yeah.
Like he's a captor.
But we find out that Caleb is the one that ordered the hit on War's dad because
he's just like so much bigger than he seems. Like in my head, he's this little idiot, and in this, he's like now suddenly like a crime lord.
Well, I'm gonna tell you what. The next book, it's gonna like make a little bit more sense, because it's
Okay.
going to round out how he got into this, because he's not the Lord. He's not.
Okay, because I'm like, he's
He's
just
not.
a business guy,
Yes.
and like, how
Yeah.
does this really
So,
make sense?
We'll find out in the next book.
Amazing.
But in this book, we find out that he's the one that put the hit out on Army, because he reached out to Army for help with trafficking the girls. And
Okay.
they don't traffic.
Okay.
And so then he didn't want Army to arrest him, so then he set up the hit.
Okay, gotcha.
So that's kind of, remember in the last series, they talk about like, we don't traffic women.
Yes.
It's like a whole thing because Gus wants to do it. Yeah. So.
And Gus, so it's not that Gus is involved with it in this. It's just that the sinners were willing.
Yes.
Got you. Okay.
I think willing is a strong word, but yes.
Okay.
And so he's basically just threatening everything. So Hayden wants to get the girls out, but he lists off everybody that Hayden loves. So his mom, his brother, his partner, their partners,
their child,
their kids, their addresses, where they live. And Hayden realizes that he is also stuck in the situation. Like, he might have a little bit more control, but he is also like being victimized by Caleb. Yes.
Yeah, there's no way.
So he's also, obviously he's not a good guy, but
he's hot.
morally gray, and he's really hot. And he's Liam's brother, so how bad could he be?
And his name's Hayden. That's like a cute name.
Okay.
Hayden Christensen. That's where I'm like, don't I already have a boyfriend named Hayden?
Yeah, you do. And this one's name is Hayden Chaos. So
we need a picture of Hayden Christensen. We need a picture of Anakin on the boyfriend wall. I need to replace one of those with Anakin.
Okay. So Kian finally shows back up at home, but Rebel's working at the club. He knows that there's a party happening at the sex club. He's like, I don't want to go there. This is my nightmare. She's going to be like either fucking Vaughn, or everyone's going to be looking at her, or naked. I can't handle that. I can't handle Vaughn. Like, I can't handle any of it. And so he's like, I'm just going to go home. And he like walks in, and then he finds a threatening note that's been dropped through their mailbox. It's not like mail. It's like somebody physically put it in through their little mail slot. And then he starts freaking out. So he goes down to the club, and he's like, I need to get in. And Scythe, of course, is like, who are you? Back of the line. And he's like, oh, no one ever remembers me. And he's like, I'm just fucking with you, dude. Go inside.
Scythe is just like, I love Scythe.
So Scythe.
Scythe cameo. Thank you.
We love. Which there is actually an entire scene where the Bliss and her guys have a foursome. It's great.
Yes, there's a fully flashes back to their polycule.
Yes, it's in this timeline, but it happens.
Yeah,
it happens before they go to get Caleb. So
yeah, it ties in, but it ties in like a fan service way, where it's like, I know you girls miss them
100%. So, then Kian goes into the club. He finds Rebel and Vaughn and tells them about this note, and so they're freaking out. So Rebel finishes her shift. They decide they need to get out of town. They're gonna take a road trip to meet Rebel's family. So Kian goes home. He gets all their shit. He comes back. Vaughn stays with Rebel and like watches her like a hawk while she finishes her shift. And then after the club clears out, they go to leave, which this scene is so funny. So Rebel gets in the back seat. She's like, I'm sleeping. Like, you boys are in the front. Figure your shit out. And so Vaughn goes to open
Raise your hand if this is a favorite scene in the whole book.
Yeah. So Vaughn goes to open the door, and Kian does the thing where he like drives. And so then Vaughn tries to open it, and he does it again, and he keeps doing it until finally he goes to do that, and he drives over Vaughn's foot. And then Vaughn's like, you're on my foot. You're on my foot. And
he backs back
and he's like, don't fuck with me. And then he waits till Rebel gets up and looks out. She's like, holy shit, you're on his foot. And instead of going forward, he reverses, so then he gets even more on his foot.
He's just
like driving over the foot.
But this is
so good.
It was the best because Kian got his ass kicked and got put in a coma, and Vaughn left him to marry a different bitch in California without actually breaking up with him. He deserved his foot getting crushed, and it felt like such like a funny comedic way to be
wasn't
like,
this like a good scene?
Yes, and it was so much like we're even now. Yeah. Like when someone's like, oh my God, I didn't mean to hit you that hard. You can punch me back. It was like, this is him punching Vaughn back and being like, yeah, take your fucking broken foot.
Yeah,
you stupid
so
bitch.
Good. So they leave. Rebel goes to sleep. The boys are mad at each other because Kian feels bad that he ran over Vaughn's foot. Vaughn's foot was run over by a car. So he's obviously upset for pretty reasonable things.
This
And
is
then
messed up.
yeah, so good. So then they stop at a gas station, and Vaughn's like, I'll drive. So Vaughn gets in the driver's seat. Kian's like goes inside, and he comes out with all of Vaughn's favorite snacks and his favorite candy. And Vaughn
so
is like
romantic.
eating. Vaughn's eating it, and he's still pissed. And so then Kian's just like, take off your pants. Take off your pants.
What if
And
while
then-
you eat the Kit Kat,
Yeah, take
I
off your
blow
pants.
you?
Yeah, and Vaughn's like, what? And he's like, well, buying all your favorite snacks didn't work. I'm hoping maybe a blowjob will make you forgive me. And so then he does give him a blowjob.
And I love this one because
this one's so good.
And also in this book, we get these flashbacks to like them fooling around when they're teenagers. And he's just like, you used to like when I did this, you used to like when I came home from swim practice. And like the first time I gave you a blowjob, you lost your mind. And so like all of that is like their inner monologue.
Yeah, it's so good.
And it's really cute because they're both like nervous.
I love Second Chance.
It's
one of my favorite tropes.
Second Chance usually makes me mad because I'm like, you lost so much time. And this, it's so necessary for the story to develop that it didn't bother me as much. And I really love that it keeps they have all these nerves that like it won't be as good as last time, or they're just too scared to like enter back into that territory. And it's this blowjob in the car is
so good. And then
cute.
he's like, Kian, take your pants off. So then Kian's like jerking himself off while he blows Vaughn. Vaughn's trying to keep the car on the road. Vaughn finally comes. Kian finally comes.
Jizz all over himself.
And there's jizz all over him, his hand and his stomach. And he's like, what am I going to do? And all of a sudden, plop, comes some makeup wipes. And both of the guys like look back, and Rebel's like, man, do you know how hard it was to pretend I was sleeping? Like, I'm so horny now.
They're like, how long have you been awake? She's like the entire time. Like
the whole time. You guys just really need to figure your stuff out without me being involved, which is the best. This is
why Rebel is my favorite.
Yeah, she's so good.
Female lead. This is why.
And so then they're like, oh, well, if Rebel's horny, like, we got to deal with that. So then they pull off. They pull off the highway. They get a motel room. And then this scene is also so good. So good. So Kian, okay, so Vaughn.
That's my second favorite scene in the whole book. It's the blowjob, the car scene blowjob, just because the second chance finally coming back.
Finally happening.
And the slow burn and the enemies, lovers. There's so many tropes going at work there. Yeah. But then they pull up to this motel room.
And then Vaughn, like, they open Rebel's bag, and it's full of like every single sex toy that she owns. And she's like, Jesus, what the fuck, Kian? And he's like, I didn't know what we were going to need. And so then Vaughn immediately pulls out a butt plug, puts it in Rebel's ass.
And before this, they're like at the check-in station, and the check-in lady was like, if you need
a fourth, let me know.
And they're like,
she already has one. And she's like, oh, lucky girl.
She's you lucky bitch.
Yeah, you lucky bitch. And so, so Vaughn puts a butt plug in Rebel's ass, and then Kian fucks Rebel. And while he's fucking Rebel, Vaughn fucks him in the ass with one of her dildos. So good. And then like they both come, but Kian's like still inside Rebel, and then Vaughn fucks Rebel in the ass while Kian's literally still in her.
Which I will say this, and I will come in with these logistic issues once in a
while.
Come in
with the logistics.
She's like, you know, he'd already got me ready with the butt plug. You've said that Fang has a massive dick. You said neither of these guys are lacking in that department. Yeah. Big dicks. In what way is a butt plug ever going to be the same size?
It's not.
It's not
going to be.
She says
it can be big though.
It cannot be big enough. She goes, it slid in easily because he prepared me with the butt plug. In what? I'll just say in what world, but that's what. Like, here's the other thing is that
I think sometimes you could say easily. For like anal is a different definition of easy than other things easily slid in.
And this is what I'll say. And this is like, it's maybe too much it's TMI or whatever, but like the pain is part of the pleasure. Yeah. So like mentioning that it hurt when it went in, that is what would make me be like, yes. Like, and I yelped and I screamed like it hurt for a second.
But also I think
give it to me.
I think she's just too blissed out because she just had an orgasm.
Also, whenever they say she's blissed out, now that we have a character named
Bliss, you're like, I'm like, down.
Every time it makes me go, oh. Is she blissed out? Like in Fucked by Three Guys blissed out? Because
only two of
those. That's like a verb now.
Yeah.
Blissed out.
It's a new meaning.
Okay, so they're getting it on in that hotel room. That was so hot. That was a great scene.
Yeah. So then they get up and they travel the rest of the way to the farm.
I forgot that's where we're headed.
Guys, this farm.
A lot of drama on the farm.
This farm's a cult. This farm's a cult.
This farm is a cult.
This farm is a cult.
Also, little podcast recommendation corner. If you're not listening to Sounds Like a Cult, you should be. And if you're not listening to Trust Me.
Oh my God, I just started listening to Trust Me. It's so good.
Okay, so we're huge podcast girls, and the Exactly Right Network is our favorite network. It's made by the My Favorite Murder creators, Karen Kilgariff and Georgia Hardstark. And they have Georgia Hardstark. So they just acquired a podcast that's been around for years called Trust Me, with two girls who are both Californians, I believe, who are both raised in cults.
Yeah.
And I went back to the very first episode. Did you go back to
No, I haven't started it from the beginning yet.
Oh,
but I will be.
No, you should, because it really dives into their own backgrounds, her mom being sex trafficked and used in a cult. And this story, we have, trust me, it's a cult. It's literally a cult.
Trust me, this is not the last we will see of the cult.
Oh my God, exciting. Okay, this is also giving like Unbreakable Kimmy Schmidt vibes. Yeah. It's like the mole women. Okay.
Back to the story.
The boys were like, you can go meet your dad, but you absolutely can't go without us.
Yeah, so the boys go with them, and obviously it's like she meets her sisters, but clearly like they don't have TV, they don't have cell phones, they dress like pilgrims. They're like, the boys are immediately like, something's weird here, and Rebel is immediately like, I have a family, everything's fine.
And it's very weird because we have gotten so from like her perspective, the dad seems normal.
Yeah.
From her POV.
Yeah.
From her POV, this dad seems like modern and normal, has a business card
which
with
I
like
think
gold
is like
on it.
the way that it's written. Because that would be your inner monologue, and then the other people from the outside are like,
who the fuck is this guy? Because definitely from she's blinded by this being her dad, whatever.
Yeah.
So I was very much like, whoa, the family does not fit the man, but I think it's because we're blinded by her.
Yes, 100%. And so we're there, and then she's getting to know her sisters, and then they start looking at the photos of the family, and there's a girl with her face blacked out in all the photos. And that is that not the weirdest, creepiest thing you've ever heard? But wait, it gets weirder and creepier because Rebels finally like feels close enough to her sister Alice to be like, well, what the fuck? And actually, she makes a comment that because her room is like such a baby room, but Rebel's like trying to make her not feel bad about that, and so she's like, well, at least you get your room to yourself. And she like has a breakdown, and Rebel's like, oh no.
She's like, there used to be a girl here.
And she's like, I used to share my room with my sister, but she's dead. And so we find out that her older sister, Louisa Cara, has died.
Louisa Cara.
And that's her
face. Does that name sound familiar?
That's her face blacked out. And so, but she's like, I have this one picture that I've kept hidden. And so she shows it to her. And
can I just say something?
She gets to see a picture.
It was just my 29th birthday, and I got from my schizophrenic dad in Kentucky a bunch of old haunted photos of my family from the hills of Appalachia. And in one of them, it's from like, I don't know, 1904 or something. The little girl's face is scratched out. There's two siblings with their faces scratched out. And so I called my dad. It was awful. But I asked him who those people were. And he was like, oh, well, that little girl died. Like, she would have died shortly after that. But her face is totally scratched the fuck out.
I hate that.
It's so fucking haunted. It's so haunted.
That is the worst.
Anyway, so I could really relate to that.
So anyways, so she shows her a picture. So she does actually see the girl. And then they meet her Uncle Josiah. And this guy, they're like, brother, Uncle Josiah. And he's like, oh, and she makes a joke about how Rebel's gonna tell her about
she's like
or something.
Oh no, she's like, Rebel's gonna tell me about the gangs and the prostitutes in St. View.
And he's like, what? And it's instantly like, it's bad. So we definitely don't like him. We don't like that. Everything's bad. The boys are like, Rebel, we need to get the fuck out of here. This place is a cult. And she's like, don't say that. It's just a loving combat. Like, it reminds me of that
clip. But she bonded with that sister when she was crying about the dead girl. So
she bonded with her family,
really quickly.
Sure. Yes. And so she's like, no, they can't be in a cult like that. No. And they're like, yes, it's definitely a cult. So, but you're in a cult. Call your dad. Except she can't call her dad because
her dad is a cult. It's always a loophole with that one.
Damn it. So they have to leave because they're not going to make it back for the funeral in time if they don't leave. And so they leave. The boys are like, that was definitely a cult. She's like, no, it's not a cult. But like, girl, it's a cult. Okay. Meanwhile, the Slayers are at the Sinners compound. There is war happening. And Caleb is like, we need to figure out a way to get out of here. Meanwhile, all the girls are like hiding, cowering. They're scared.
Yeah, just so happens that when this war breaks out between the two biker gangs, they have got 5 hostage sex trafficked women who are in the line of fire. The other biker gang, who we know Fang is a part of, and we know War is a part of, like all of these boys we love don't know that these women are inside, and if they shoot at them, they could kill these women and these innocent bystanders.
So everybody's freaking out, and then Caleb is freaking out, and he hits one of the girls across the face with a gun and like fucks her up.
Pistol whips her.
Pistol whips her bad. And Hayden calls an ambulance. He's like, fuck this. I'm calling an ambulance. Like, Kara needs an ambulance. This girl needs an ambulance. And so the EMTs come and they're like, we only have one gurney. We have to take this girl. She's going to die. Like, you're going to be fine. And Caleb's like, no, you're taking her.
The girl with the baby.
Take the girl with the baby. And they're like, we're not going to do that. We need to take whoever's in like the most emergent care first. So then, of course, Caleb just kills both of the EMTs.
Shoots them both in the face. So this is where we see this, like, well, that escalated quickly. Like, literally, Caleb is escalating from rapist, abusive boyfriend, which is one level, to rapist, abusive boyfriend who's sex trafficking, who just shot 2 people in the face.
Which, remember, he did kill Tabor in the last series.
Did. Yeah.
And then he was like, why would you do that? And Scythe was like, that was you.
You did it, yeah.
So he's got a little, like, psychosis
that one
thing.
Felt a little bit self-defensive. At least, like, if Tabor was dead, there'd be less questions about Caleb. These 2 paramedics are, like, in cold blood.
Yeah, in cold blood. Kills these 2 paramedics. Then he's like, Chaos, you put on one outfit. I'm putting on an outfit. Kara's getting on the gurney and we're getting out of here. He's like, why would you do that? And he's like, this is our ticket out of here. And so they put on the EMT outfits and they go outside and they're like, EMTs. And they get into the ambulance. Kara's freaking out. She's like, please just let me go. Like, let us go. We won't do anything. Like, and he's like, you've already threatened me. That's my child. Blah, 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 blah. He's the worst. And Chaos is like, you need to stop the ambulance and like stop. And he's like, what, you want me to stop so they can get you? Like, so they can kill you on sight? And finally it gets to the point where Chaos pulls a gun on Caleb. And then Caleb like hits the gun and takes the gun and shoots Chaos in the chest.
And Chaos is Hayden, just in case you forgot.
Yeah, sorry, I've said that. But so yes, Hayden.
But so he is shot. Now she's holding her baby and holding a gauze.
A gauze to his chest, and she's like, do not die, do not die, do not die. I'm trauma bonded to you. You cannot die. She literally delivered my baby.
Stockholm to him.
Yes. Sacrifices himself to the Slayers to protect Kara because they don't know. Like, they are now following them. And they know it's Caleb.
That's
and so he's trying to protect her. So he sacrifices himself. He's like, and he yeets himself out of the ambulance so that he gets distracted so that they can keep going. So.
And all Kara wants is for him to stay alive. But she's got a fucking baby in her hands.
Yeah. So then Caleb takes Kara to Hugh's house. And Hugh's house stinks of smoke because he wasn't in there when they lit the house on fire. So he didn't die. And so Caleb's like, what do we do? We need to figure something out. And he's like, well, I don't know what you mean. And then while this is happening, Harold Coker calls and he's like, you're coming to the funeral, right? And he's like, of course. I grew up with Vaughn. And Hugh's like, we cannot fucking go to that funeral. They will kill us.
Yeah.
And Caleb's like, I have the perfect plan. And so he takes the baby, he hides the baby from Kara, and he's like, we're going to use Kara as bait so that they don't kill us. Because they're not going to attack if we have her. And so I get to the funeral. Rebel goes up to like give a speech. She really doesn't want to, but she feels like her mom deserves it. And she goes up there and she looks up into the back pew and she fucking sees Caleb and Hugh. And she's like, what the fuck? And then she like looks back up, starts freaking out. She looks back up and they're gone. And so she starts to think like maybe she imagined it.
Nightmare.
Yes. And so then she's freaking out. So she like leaves the church because she's freaking out. And then all of her guys and Bliss and her guys all leave the church with her. They're like, are you okay? And she's out at the plots to like where the parents are going to get buried. And she looks over and she sees Caleb and Hugh and this girl getting in a car. And she's like, oh, hell fucking no. And so she starts yelling at them. And they're like, you can't do anything to us, blah, blah, blah. And they're threatening everybody. They're threatening Bliss. And Rebel has had enough. She pulls out the gun that she has in her purse. She kills Hugh. Hugh's dead. Then she turns the gun on Caleb. She's like, I'm going to fucking kill you. Kara, move. And Kara's like, don't shoot. Kara like steps in front of Caleb. She's like, don't shoot. She's like, Kara, move. I'm going to, because she she recognizes Kara from the photo.
The photo and the basement.
And before she says anything, Caleb reveals that they're sisters because he finally like did some research and found out that they were half sisters.
Louisa Kara from the
Louisa
farm.
Kara is Kara from the basement who just had a baby.
Which is crazy. Caleb couldn't have planned it better if he wanted to. He didn't know they were sisters.
He did not know when he
just
raped them both.
Raped both of them and got one of them pregnant.
Yeah. And so he reveals that. She's like, oh my God, Louisa Kara, like, I knew I recognized you. And then she's like, move. I'm killing this motherfucker. This ends today. And she's like, you can't kill him. He has my baby and he's the only one who knows where my baby is. Bookends.
And he says, I have your niece.
I have your niece.
My niece just stayed with me for 10 days. And like the way I would yeet myself off a bridge in order to save her.
Yeah. So that's how the book fucking ends. So basically, what are we going to do with Hugh's body? All these people are in the church, like right there. Caleb's here. Kara's protecting him because she needs her baby. Chaos, is he dead? Maybe.
No, Hayden's fine. Hayden's fine, and I know that for certain.
I wouldn't say he's fine, but he's alive.
Hopefully his dick still works. Speaking of which,
can confirm it does.
The only thing I'm ever considering. Speaking of which, who is your delusional boyfriend from this series?
My delusional boyfriend this time I said Vaughn, because I think they had so many good scenes together in this book and really good chemistry, and I like that. Okay, the whole thing with Kian is annoying. But it's not annoying for like I'm being homophobic reasons and I don't want to admit that I have feelings for you reasons. It's like I'm
trying to protect
protective reasons, which is also annoying. But I like that he like is openly like fucks with Kian. Like he is like, I'm into Kian a lot. Like I really am into Kian. And so I like that. And he's
been admitting that he fucked up, that he
I feel like
wrong.
this was his book.
It was his redemption.
Yeah, like the first book is like Fang's book.
Yeah.
And this is his book. And the next book is like Kian's book.
I like Kian from Kian is my
was your boyfriend last time too.
Was he my boyfriend last time? Okay. Well, because he's a girl's girl. And I love that about him. And also I love that in this one he ran over Vaughn's foot. And I like that he's getting like he's in the fighting ring and he's searching for jobs. And like I felt like there's a lot about Kian in this book. I like when he turns it down and she goes and like jerks off next door to him. Like there's just like a lot of cute moments with Kian where he continues to be like very adorable, very funny. He's the comedic relief. And then we got his backstory, which made my heart break for him. So like, yeah, he's my tiny baby girl. And like, I'll do anything for him.
I do love when somebody has like a character has like a tragic backstory and it's not like
doesn't define them at all.
Yeah, like you would never know.
Nope, his personality.
Which I love. I do love because I think a lot of times it's like the reason that you understand that they're kind of an asshole.
Yeah,
and I like that that's not a single part of it.
In fact, he's such a nice guy, and it's maybe more to that where it's just like even because these bad things happen to me, I still forgive everybody and I give everybody a second chance. And like she even says that at some point. She's like, "Aren't you the like the nice guy who gives everyone second chances?" He's like, "Is that how people think of me?" And it's like, "Yeah, Kian, you're like you are so trusting and good, and you want to help people. The second you met Rebel, you wanted to help her. That like Vaughn, you've already forgiven him. You're clearly in love with the boy that you were in love with in high school, which is precious and adorable. And he wants this family so bad. Like, and he gets along with Fang, and he's the glue that holds them all together. Like, I love Kian so much. And in my head, he's still not a redhead. But he's still my boyfriend. I'm just like, without him, none of the rest of this would have worked because he was the reason she could live at the house. He's
Yeah.
like,
No, he's great. He is the glue.
he is the glue.
Yeah.
I love Kian so much.
Because he, like, kind of, him and Fang, like, they have this little friendship that in
Yes.
the next book we get to see a lot more
I
of.
love
It's
their
great.
friendship. I love when we see the like not sexual couple.
I have a
The
scene in the
platonic
next
couple.
book that I predict will be your favorite
My
scene. I
favorite.
can't wait to tell you what it is.
Oh, I'm so excited. Yeah, because like whoever the two platonic boys are together who don't hook up, I always like their relationship because they're like buddies. They're like bros kind of about like the other situationships going on. And I really think that's cute. And that's what's happening with Fang and Kian here. Fang and Vaughn have a different relationship, but like Fang and Kian specifically in this one.
Yeah.
And then in the last one, it was Heath. Not Heath. It was
Liam and Ro.
Liam and Ro, and they don't have anything together, but they can like see what's going on, and they're like they're wingman. They're like a wingman about it.
Yeah,
I think that's really cute. So yeah, super. I love this polycule so much. I'm so excited for this one.
So who do you think the murderer is?
Okay, so I have a couple of guesses on the murderer. Obviously the business partner, obviously the nosy neighbor, obviously the cult leader dad. Those are my top 3 suspects. What about you?
Okay, I can't tell you I know who the murderer is. Were you trying to trap me into telling you the answer?
That was a trick.
Girl.
That was a trick, but I did think it would work because, okay, well, there's also somebody else. It's the mom and Carmichael. Weirdness going on.
I agree.
So there's a lot of weirdness. Yeah, and of course, I'm hoping that it's not just like somebody in a drunken rage this time or a jealous fit. I think that there's a lot of business interests going on, a lot of insurance interests going on. So there's a lot of suspects in this.
Yeah.
Because there's money involved.
There's a lot that happens in the next book, as usual. But, yeah. Is that your mom?
Yeah, she
calls every time we record. She has a spidey sense.
I work for her too, so we probably call each other 34 times a day.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
Because she always calls when we're recording.
Always.
Okay, I think that's all we need. Do you have any other predictions for the next book? What do you think is going to happen with Caleb?
Okay, for Caleb, Rebel is going to get to murder him.
How do you think she's going to do it if she does it?
I want her to do something like really painful, but like, okay, kind of like how he drove over his foot and then drove back over it. I hope she hits him with the car and then runs back over him.
Okay.
I feel like that's too obvious, but something like that, or like she pushes him down a cliff, or like something where he like hits a rock a bunch of times on the way down and like keeps falling for a really long time. That would be really
like
good for me. That would be really good for me. I would really
all
like
the way down the side of a mountain.
I would like if he fell down the mountain. Like there's the wrong Missy. Did you watch
Yeah.
where she falls off the cliff and she just keeps falling? That is what I hope happens to him. But also I would be fine if he got raped to death.
What if he just went to prison? Would that be enough for you? It wouldn't be enough for me.
Big fat no to that one. I'm not interested. This is St. View.
No.
This is St. View. Do you know how easy it is to break out of the prison?
Yeah, we can't have that.
We've already seen it happen several times.
Yeah. Yeah.
Other predictions would be for all 4 of them together. What is the first foursome going to look like?
I think I know.
So, okay. So it's going to be...
If I'm remembering it right.
I hope, because Fang has the biggest dick, I hope it goes Fang in the ass and we get some like painal. I want to see this girl cry. I want some pain. I am sick of it. Always been, and it slipped in. It never slips in. That's like not the whole point. Like sometimes the pain is point. Sometimes that is fun. And so I just want to see Fang fuck her in the ass. And then I want to see Ro, or not Ro. I want to see Kian fucking Vaughn in the ass while Vaughn fucks her in the pussy. And I want it in that order. So she's like on her knees and Fang is behind her and Vaughn is in front of her and Kian is behind Vaughn.
And where is this happening, do you think?
It's happening at the sex club. No, it can't happen at the sex club because that was last series. Like last series was a sex club. So this series is at their house that they built together. And is that too like domestic?
No, I'm just trying to think about when it happens the first time. There's a specific scene that I'm thinking of that you're never going to guess where it takes place.
Is it a voyeurism thing? Is it like a public place?
I mean,
medium. Is it outdoors?
No.
Okay, wait.
No, it's medium public place. Like it is a public place, but it's not like the doors are like it's not open to the public.
Okay. I'm excited because all of these books so far, well, no, just mostly the last series and this series have had quite a bit of voyeurism, and apparently that's one that I really love.
Yeah, apparently. She vibes.
I definitely vibe. Oh, and speaking of vibes, this is full of toys, and so I really like this story because there's like a vibrator here, butt plug there,
yes,
vibrator
because
there.
you know what? Toys are friends, not enemies.
Yeah, so I love that. I just had, my niece was here, and I was like, you can borrow all my clothes, you can have anything, but
don't open the ottoman.
Do not open the green bench. And we called it Pandora's bench. And I was just like, just don't open the fucking bench.
It's not worth it.
That will ruin your perception
of me and your
uncle forever. So just don't fucking open it. She's 17. I'm like, you know what's in the bench, so just don't open it. But yeah, I love that there's so many toys in this, and that each boy is like bringing the toys along with them, and everyone's like excited to try that out and see what she likes. She's super into nipple play. I thought that was super fun. So again, just like the kinks and stuff going on.
It's fun.
That's what I like.
It's fun because she is like definitely the most like open and already has a lot of experience.
Yes.
So it's very fun.
Yes, I love her. I find her very relatable. I find it very like kink positive.
Nice.
Leave that in. I find her very sex positive and kink positive and like, experience. I love everything about Rebel. So far, my favorite character. I'm nervous about Kara's series because I'm just like, oh my God, I'm going to do with this fucking.
You should be nervous.
It's just about really to get really intense though.
It's really good though.
I'm sure with the cult and everything in the next book.
Well, we have a 5-year time
jumps.
Mm-hmm.
Does she have a 5-year-old baby? Oh my God. Okay.
Yeah, she has a baby right now.
Okay. The baby
Sorry, I guess that's a spoiler that the baby's alive.
Doesn't die. I thought
of course the baby's alive.
Because I accidentally listened to the preview of the next book first, and I thought she said something about it dying. So in my back of my head, I've been thinking that the baby was going to die. Okay, spoiler.
She's alive, and she's going to have a name by the end of the next book.
Cute,
and it's really cute.
Cute. I love a baby.
Yes, it's very cute.
I just switched from,
and then in her series, we get to see 3 guys like be dads of a kid that's not theirs, which is just
3 stepdads. I love a found family.
I know, or like single dad, men being
3
dads.
Men
I'm really into it.
Yeah, 3 men and a baby, 2.5
men being dads. I like it.
I like it.
I like it a lot.
Never knew it, but I like the idea.
I like it a lot. I have reverse daddy issues. Give me more dads.
Yeah, more dads.
I like a secure relationship with a dad.
I only have one dad, and it's Phoebe's dad. He calls me Cookie.
Yes.
That's it. So I love a daddy issue trope. This is definitely a daddy issue series. I can't wait for more. The 100%. Next Rebel book in the St. View Rebel series is called this was Rebel Obsession.
Yeah, and then it's Rebel Heart.
Okay, so the next one is called Rebel Heart. So tune in next month. It's always the 25th of the month if you're specifically here for romance novels, but definitely join in. If you guys like romance, you'll probably like BL anime and manga and manhwa. Manga's from Japan, manhwa's from Korea. Anime, obviously, if you've seen like Powerpuff Girls, you know what fucking anime is, but there's lots of very hot, steamy stuff. So check it out. Check out those podcast episodes.
If you just watched K-pop Demon Hunters and you loved it, you might like anime.
And I will tell you, there's an entire category called BL anime, which is MM, and it's very sweet. It's adorable. It's super cute. And the fan, like, what do you call it? The fandom online is huge. And that's mostly what I'm a part of. So if you guys are just listening to the romance novel episodes, I encourage you to check out the other episodes, check out those series, and tell me what you think. And definitely go look at our calendar, and if you have any suggestions for next year, let us know. If there's a certain theme or genre or book that you want us to touch on. Who is your favorite delusional boyfriend? If we haven't talked about him yet, we would love to. And until next time, remember, sometimes the delusion
is the solution.
Bye.